This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Control yourselves. New York City is our home, not a playground for your misplaced anger.
That's the message from New York City's mayor ahead of former President Trump's arraignment later this morning. We'll have the latest on his day in court.
And it's day 2 of Explore Your Career Options Week. If you've ever felt like those job applications are not getting seen, well, coming up at 5:15, a few ways to help you get your foot in the door. Plus,
first off, it's a fun game, but second, it's helping me refine my skills as a parent and as a teacher and as a human being.
Billed as the only professional women's tackle football team in Oregon, they are the Oregon Ravens. Their season kicked off in Seattle last weekend, so we're going to let you know where and when you can catch their first home game coming up later this half hour. Can I point out something real quick?
Yeah.
Just behind, you couldn't see it because there was video playing, but Brenda pretended she was tackling me.
Was
I was
she?
trying to reel
I
it.
didn't see that. I was just like,
Today, this is the truth. Today is actually Hug a News Person Day.
No,
National
is it?
Hug a News Person Day, but perhaps you'd rather have Tackle
maybe
a
she'd
News
rather
Person Day.
tackle him.
I'm up for it.
Could be a thing.
All right, Chris.
Glad you're here. Yeah, glad you're here on this
Folks are
Tuesday.
probably ready to tackle the weatherman.
Yeah, right?
Still talking about snow on April 4th.
What's up, Chris?
It's like
Yes.
you mentioned the bad April Fool's Day joke that just keeps like, it's
get to it and we'll see if Brenda tackles you.
All right, I'm going to stay over here. She's quick. All right, we do have mixed rain and snow showers across the region this morning. Radar certainly showing that. The good news is temperatures down low are well above freezing, right? But you can see over the last 3 hours, the smattering of showers and snow showers continues. And by the way, we take you out to the Oregon Coast Range. That's still, coastal passes are still snow covered this morning. That's Highway 26. And even down at 500 feet at Lee's Camp on Oregon Highway 6, we're seeing snow in the air. Right now it's 40 degrees last check at PDX. So no problem with accumulating snow on the valley floor. We stay in the 40s this morning. It's still possible we see some wet snowflakes here in Portland. And we continue with the on and off shower threat into the afternoon with highs near 50 degrees.
Okay, thank you so much, Chris. This morning at roughly 11 o'clock our time, former President Donald Trump will be arraigned on about 30 charges in New York City. This is a live look outside of Trump Tower in Manhattan. You can see some security detailing there. This is where Trump is currently staying. The indictment, though, is sealed, so we still don't know the exact charges he's facing, but what we do know is they're related to business fraud.
So all this stems from Trump's alleged involvement in hush money payments to an adult film star before the 2016 election. NBC's Jay Gray has the latest on what we can expect at the arraignment this morning.
Lower Manhattan on lockdown this morning. Streets blocked, an army of police and federal agents on the ground, and a warning from New York's mayor about anyone who plans to protest.
Our message is clear and simple. Control yourselves. New York City is our home, not a playground for your misplaced anger.
After arriving late yesterday, former President Trump expected to make the short drive from Trump Tower to the courthouse later today, where he will formally be placed under arrest. During processing, Mr. Trump will not be handcuffed. It's unclear if a mugshot will be taken. We do know he'll be fingerprinted. Next, he'll be escorted to a courtroom for arraignment, the first time someone who once sat in the Oval Office will stand before a judge to face criminal charges. Trump's legal team says he will plead not guilty to what sources indicate will be roughly 30 counts.
He's gearing up for a battle. This is something that obviously we believe is a political persecution.
The court appearance is only expected to last a few minutes, and former President Trump plans to leave New York, returning to Florida immediately after the proceedings. The former president says he will talk about the day's events publicly from Mar-a-Lago this evening, while District Attorney Alvin Bragg is scheduled to discuss the case during a press briefing just after the arraignment. Jay Gray, NBC News, New York.
Something to keep an eye on during this case. The judge presiding over the case could issue a gag order, which would keep the former president from talking about this case publicly. Later this morning on the Today Show, NBC's legal correspondent is talking about the significance of this move, especially considering that it would silence a presidential candidate.
Obviously, he has free speech rights just like every other defendant, especially when he's campaigning for public office. I think a court would be loath to impose a gag order, but you might see a warning of sorts. I talked to several lawyers who appeared in front of Judge Marchand, former prosecutors, and they said you could see him saying something to the effect of, I just want everyone to be on notice, to be careful about tainting the jury pool in this case. Typically, gag orders are there to protect the defendant. Right. Of course, the defendant is the one who actually wants to talk the most in this case.
The Today Show will have complete coverage of former President Donald Trump's arraignment coming up later this morning. That, of course, is happening right after sunrise.
And it'll be a few months before we find out the sentence for a battleground man who pleaded guilty yesterday to a charge connected to the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. Jeff Grace is scheduled to be sentenced August 3rd. He pleaded guilty to one count of entering a restricted building. Grace could face up to 6 months in prison. Last year, his son Jeremy Grace was sentenced to 21 days in prison and supervised release after pleading guilty to a misdemeanor charge for his role in the attack.
Other headlines this morning. A judge has denied bail for the man accused of killing his ex-girlfriend and her 7-year-old daughter. Kirkland Warren appeared in court yesterday. He's facing 2 counts of murder for the shooting deaths of Michelle Melendez and Layla Stewart. Their bodies were found down an embankment in rural Washougal a couple of weeks ago. Warren's next court appearance is set for a plea hearing coming up April 17th. Jury selection continues this morning at 9 in the murder trial of Lori Vallow. The Idaho woman is charged with killing 2 of her children and her husband's ex-wife. Back in 2020, J.J. Vallow and Tylee Ryan disappeared for months after their mother was seen in Hawaii just after marrying Chad Daybell. Their bodies were eventually found in a grave on Daybell's property. The couple is facing the same murder charges, but at Daybell's request, they're being tried separately. And Portland police arrested 9 people during a 2-day retail theft sting. These arrests happened over the weekend at the Cascade Station Shopping Center. Police say all of the suspects had multiple warrants for theft and theft-related crimes. PPB says this is part of an ongoing collaboration with local businesses and the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office to stop retail theft here in the metro area. And those are some of your morning headlines.
And this is a look inside our KGW lobby. Here it is, Michael Allen Harrison tuning up the piano this morning in the lobby. In fact, I think it's officially tuned.
Most definitely.
Already sounds great at a few minutes after 5 a.m. Michael's big annual concert performance, known as 10 Grand, is happening this weekend at the Arlene Schnitzer Concert Hall. We're going to check back in with him. We promised to spend some time just listening and not talking over the playing. Again, that's coming up a little bit later this morning here on Sunrise.
That is such a wonderful show. It's been years since I've seen it, but there's so many different genres of music, and it's just a spectacle.
Yeah, Drew, you were telling me about it yesterday.
No, I've seen it too. It is pretty. I mean, I always think, like, what's going on in my life at the time that I get emotional at like a movie or a concert performance. I remember getting I was moved. I'm just going to put it that way.
Yes.
I'm going to get too into it, but I was moved during that performance. Yeah. Really cool.
You're going to be talking to him a little bit later.
Yes.
Okay.
And maybe we could let him play underneath the weather forecast while we continue to talk about
that.
snow on April 4th. What?
Yeah,
So let's go ahead and check out the radar. We are still talking about low elevation snow threat this morning. Winter weather advisories continue in the Cascades and in the Coast Range until 11 a.m. And radar over the last 3 hours showing mixed rain and snow showers, even down low. Now, temperature-wise this morning, we're maybe a degree or 2 even warmer than yesterday. But that said, we still could see some pockets as you get closer to the Coast Range where we see a little dusting this morning. It's 40 at PDX. It's 36 in King City, Hillsborough 36. And the big perspective across the state, east of Cascades, cold, below freezing, 28 right now. Baker City Burns, one of the colder spots on this map, checking in with 23. All right, the setup today, I feel like it's looked exactly like this for the last 2 or 3 days. The flow is generally out of the northwest. The air aloft is cold, and we're being peppered with showers and snow showers across the northwest. And Futurecast, again, shows pretty much the same story as yesterday. Showers and sun breaks. This morning we'll see snowflakes mixed in with the raindrops down low, and then those snow levels retreat higher and higher as we head into the afternoon. It's still possible that we even see some small hail in any of the stronger showers today, although not as likely as yesterday. Snow showers obviously continuing in the Cascades. So keep it on here on the weather front. As we mentioned, the winter weather advisories continue in the Cascades and the Coast Range until about 11 a.m. today. At the beach today, occasional showers and sun breaks. Daytime highs struggling into the upper 40s. Again, a whole 10 degrees below average for this time of the year. In the gorge, same story, upper 40s to low 50s out towards the Dalles with light southwest breezes. And east of the Cascades, central and eastern Oregon, mixed rain and snow showers. Temperatures eventually inching into the low 40s for you. Up and down the I-5 corridor. Futurecast is trying to get Longview to 50. We'll see if we get there. That'd be nice, right? 48 to 50 here in Portland, and pretty much the same holds true up and down the I-5 corridor for today. Our 7-day forecast shows tomorrow starting off dry, but another round of rain comes in Wednesday afternoon or certainly Wednesday evening with temperatures inching a little higher each day. Thursday is a wet and breezy day, and then as we roll towards the Easter weekend, we've trimmed the temperatures back just a little bit. We've added a chance of rain, but still a little bit warmer than where we were looking earlier this week. Devin?